I'm here with Bardo, also known as DJ Nymfo, one of the big shots in the drum and bass producer scene and DJ scene, of course. And we're going to talk about becoming a producer and how fast that process can take place. And I want to pose you the question, is it possible to become a producer within, let's say, 1 year?
I don't think so. Definitely not in drum and bass, because the production level is, I think, pretty high.
What does that mean? Production level is high.
Especially to create really good mixdowns for the dance floor, for the club.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying other genres are way easier to produce, but just in general, to become a producer, to understand, learn a program like Ableton or Logic or whatever you're using, that's already a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still discovering things so now and then in the program I'm working in.
You work in?
Ableton.
Yeah.
Ableton. And
cool.
I worked in Logic when I started. I used a bit of Reason, but now for the last...
You use Reason and Logic, but you end up with Ableton.
With Ableton. And so that's already difficult to create, an own sound. That's maybe... Well, that's difficult. That's a long journey. And then the last bit is like mixdowns. Like, I think in a year you can learn the program, maybe have a bit of an own sound, but then I always say to my students, like, okay, make 100, 150 of those tracks and become better. Create more your own sound.
How do you create your own sound?
There's not an answer for that, but I'm always trying to to teach them to think outside the box, not to go for the standard sample packs or presets, but more like just thinking outside the box, and also trying a lot of stuff, different stuff, and not to be scared, But that's difficult, and I think that comes with the years as well, because when I started, I was scared to think outside the box as well.
Where did you start? Did you start with drum and bass straight away when you were behind a computer and like, I'm going to make drum and bass?
No. I started as a gabber DJ.
Oh, gabber.
When I was 15, I started as a hardcore. Well, I played around in my bedroom with a few hardcore records and that. But I had a few jungle drum and bass CDs already, and that genre I really liked, and I still do. But I started the first couple of years just as a DJ.
Yeah.
And then the production part came later, and that started because I had a few friends around who could show me all the tips and tricks and the inside info, because there was no DJ School yet, no Herman Brood or
no
whatever.
YouTube.
No YouTube, no tutorials. So I started first as a DJ, then producer. But
did the DJing help you, like, in the knowledge to become a producer?
Yeah, totally. Because I already arrangements wasn't that difficult for me. For a lot of students here as well, I see that they struggle with arrangements, especially the producers who don't DJ yet, because they never thought about like a DJ friendly intro maybe or stuff like that. So it definitely helped.
So let's say you have a year. How would you spend that in your development? Where would you focus on if you start?
Always when people ask me about like a time frame when it comes to producing, maybe also DJing, but especially producing, I got the question a lot, like, when do I have my first release? I always say, I don't know, just have fun. Some people, maybe in a year, other people maybe 10 years. Just have fun. Don't see it as a competition. Just do your thing and develop your own way of working, your style and that. So but in a year, I would say if you can work every day, let's say a couple of hours, or let's say a couple of days a week. You need to. You need to put a lot of hours
again.
Vlieguren, flying times. And some people pick up really quick, other a bit slower, but that's not a problem, you know.
And I think getting coaching in that perspective really helps, right? Not only, of course, here at the school, but I think generally having someone that is further up there that can give you a lot of insights on how things work. Because I think the program, you can manage that. Probably with just YouTube, you could manage to work within Ableton, let's say. But I think where the knowledge comes in is to actually... And we're going to talk about that later, is like, how do I structure my workflow? How do I not get stuck at certain points? And how do I actually get to, well, I think the more tracks you make, the better you get. But how I have a lot of people coming in that haven't finished any track. Like they have like startups, like little loops or samples, whatever they made, but they can't seem to get it into a full song. Do you get stuck in that process?
I did back in the days. I sometimes, for example, start a track and then I have like a really cool sample in a track. But I already know, okay, if I keep on working, then on this track with this sample or this sound, I'm not going to finish it because, I don't know, it's sounding weak or, you know, there are different reasons for that. So what's difficult is for producers, if you, let's say, work for 1 or 2 days on a track, to delete stuff, you know, like maybe start again with your drums, you know,
back
like
to the drawing board.
Yeah. So that's difficult. And some people, well, a lot of producers that are a little bit autistic and very focused
on details.
On details. And sometimes students, they send me version 12, version 20, 25, and then I'm going to listen.
The difference?
And then they say, like, do you hear that my hi-hat is like a little bit louder, or it's like I don't even hear it. So if I don't hear it, you know, probably 90% of the crowd they don't hear it. You know, so that's difficult for a lot of producers to really finish a track. You know, and sometimes I get sent demos, and then I say like, I think this is finished. You know, like keep on writing new stuff. You know, because otherwise you maybe going to overproduce a track or probably make it even worse, you know. And if you go and listen back to earlier versions, it's like, oh, this is maybe sounding better.
The essence is there, so you don't need to like add a lot of stuff anymore.
So, but that's difficult because sometimes people need to hear it like, okay, it's done. Like,
and that's what I say is sometimes it's handy when somebody else comes in and gives you that feedback, like, hey, this is fine, you know, don't bother. Or do you work with other guys or producers that really give you some feedback on the project you're working on?
Definitely. I still send it around to my friends when I'm working on music, you know, definitely, especially when I'm a bit stuck in the track, you know. Because sometimes it's like, okay, just some really simple feedback, or sometimes it's like, I think it's done.
Don't bother. Cool.
But I still do it. It's because sometimes I don't hear it anymore. You know, like, okay, what's all going on?
You've been hearing the track too many times. Okay, so thank you for your insight in like the process, what you can do within a year, what you should focus on. If you want to know more about this subject, let us know in the comments so we can address the topic and talk about it with Bardo here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.